What's going on, everybody? It is Dadbot here once again. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my Demon Souls walkthrough. First things first, you notice that little red bar next to my falchion. That means that the durability is getting a little bit low, so I'm going to head over to the blacksmith and repair my equipment just to get everything up to snuff with where we want it to be. And then we're going to get straight on down to business. Head off to the second archstone, the Tunnel City, and we're going to close out this archstone. And what I mean by that is we are going to take care of all of the rest of the bosses. There's only one boss left, and do all of the pure white roll tendency stuff and all the pure black roll tendency stuff. So in the last episode, I pointed out we are in pure white roll tendency in roll 2. And how we accomplished that is A, we did not die in human form. And B, we killed 2 of the bosses playing in offline mode. So that's how you get to pure white roll tendency. That crystal lizard, I'm not really all that concerned about. I have all the upgrades that I want, so I'm not really concerned with the lizards at this point. If I come across any new ones that I haven't already gotten the loot from, I'll go ahead and kill them just to show you kind of what they drop. But for now, we're going to head back over to what I said was this shortcut, which if you drop very carefully down all of these ledges here, you'll get to where we fought the Flame Lurker and basically skip the entire level. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we want to get over to that item over here, and the way you do that is if you roll off of this platform, you should land here on this cliff. And then right here, if you drop down very carefully, you should land on that platform. So just kind of slip on by like that, and you'll land right here and get some upgrade materials. Now, this next part is a blind kind of roll. Sometimes I hit it, and sometimes I don't. So what you want to do is if you can hit it, you can roll like right here. And then if you do it right, you can land right here on this platform. Sometimes I miss and fall all the way down. As I said, it is kind of a blind maneuver that you have to do. And then the next thing you want to do is drop down right over here. So if you miss that, you're going to die and you're going to respawn. We're going to circle back around here anyways a little bit later, and I'll show you the other way to come down, which is actually a little bit safer to do. But the reason why we had to go on that side first is to get that one item that is over there on that other side. But for these other ones, you just drop down. I think I missed one up there, but in any case, we're going to come back around anyways later. I know there's not one up there. Yeah, that's the item that I thought I missed was the one that's right here. And that's the Plague Resistance Ring. That is kind of like the Poison Resistance Ring, but instead of resisting poison, it resists Plague, which is kind of a more potent poison. And you want to be very careful to drop down here on this little deal here. You can pick up this item, the Storied Warrior Soul. And then what you want to do is be very careful and shimmy all the way on over here and drop down on this platform. You'll notice that there's a couple lizards here. So I'm going to pull out my bow and kill them because these are not ones that I've seen yet before. And there is an NPC there. He only spawns in white roll tendency. That is Scurver. So you want to make sure that if you're hitting this one with melee that you don't accidentally hit Scurver because he's going to give us a quest. And again, he only shows up in this form in pure white roll tendency. And so what he wants is there's this giant sword that he wants us to find. And if we take it back to him, he gives us a reward if we complete his quest. So we're going to do that. And that is kind of the white world tendency event in this level. So for starters, you want to drop down on this little platform right here. Just be very careful. Don't overshoot it. And then the next thing is you want to drop down. You can see it just barely below us. And then if you go around to this side, you can see you can drop down here and here. And then there's an item. If you can hit it just right, you can get this item, an unknown hero soul. So not a big deal if you miss it. And then you can climb on up here. And this will start to look familiar. So this is the exit of those tunnels that we got. You know, there was that lava pit. And this crystal lizard we missed last time. There was that lava pit. And that we got the dragon sword from. And there were those bear bugs down there. And, you know, if you remember these worms that we fought last time, you can see how if you just drop down those ledges, we basically skipped the entire level doing this. And so this is a quicker way to get to the Flame Lurker. But the reason why we did that just now is so that we could talk to Scurver first. So what I'm going to do is we have everything that we want. And again, we're going to have to traverse that route again to get back to Skirver because we're actually going to have to return this sword to him, the Dragon Bone Smasher. So I'm actually going to reload the area to just recover my health, which also respawns the enemies. But, you know, we're going forward to the next boss, and there are no enemies between us and the boss, so it doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Second Chance just for safety. It is also very helpful to have magic. So I'm going to put my Catalyst on in place of the bow. And we're going to be using Soul Rays, and of course I have my Spice as well. And you'll see what I mean. So if you run this way, we're going to get straight to the next boss. And I mentioned that this boss is another one of those bosses in the game where if you kill it a certain way, you get a trophy. And that doesn't come into play till the very end of the fight. And if you're going to want to do it that way, you remember those weapons, the Hands of God, that we picked up in the last episode. You're going to want to bring those with you because that's how you get the trophy, is with the Hands of God. So first things first, this is the Dragon God. And this is, you know, he's the Archdemon of the second Archstone, and he is kind of a gimmicky boss, like the other Archdemons are. So you want to avoid those punches. Those punches will kill you in one hit. There's a Crystal Lizard right off here to the side. And the way that this boss fight works is you kind of have to use stealth. And so here we have the Dragon Bone Smasher, and it is very heavy. It's going to exceed my carry capacity. So, let's see, I need to drop some stuff to get, I think it weighs either 20 or 30. So I need to get rid of some stuff to free up my inventory. And when you're over here, you're kind of safe. The Dragon God's not really going to punch you. At least he hasn't to me in my experience. So I think we should have enough to pick it up now. We sure do. And you'll see this is a very heavy weapon. It weighs 20 units, and it requires 30 strength to wield, so that is far beyond what we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to... Well, actually, no, I don't want to send it to storage because we need it to show to Skirver, so don't send it to storage. So I'm going to leave it in my inventory, and here's where kind of the fun begins here. So the way that this fight works is the Dragon God can see you, and when he sees you, his eyes are going to turn red. And when he sees you, he's going to punch you. And the punches are going to kill you in one hit. So that is why I have Second Chance equipped, because that's going to help me enormously with this fight. So the thing is you can hide behind these pillars and he won't see you. So you notice his eyes are yellow. When his eyes are yellow, that means you're safe. He can't see you. If you come out in the open, he can see you. When he turns his head, see, so his eyes turned red, and so that means he's going to punch the wall. So that's kind of how this fight works. So in other words, you're going to want to sort of maintain stealth. And the way that you do that is by staying behind these pillars where he can't see you. And you see these little piles of debris that block the way. This is where the magic comes into handy. Because you can also break down these piles of debris with a weapon, but you're leaving yourself open because when you're attacking these piles of debris with a melee weapon, the Dragon God will be able to see you, and he will be alerted to your presence, and he will attack you. So I much prefer to destroy these piles of debris with magic so I can maintain my my stealth. And so when he turns his head, I'm going to run to the next column here. So here's the next column. I'm safe. You'll see there's another pile of debris. So I'm going to pop a Spice so I can get my magic back. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the other pile of debris. And you kind of have to aim manually, but trust me, it's worth it to use magic as opposed to running up and using melee, because again, if he punches you one time, that's going to kill you. I do have Second Chance on just for safety, but again, you don't really want to be relying on it because it's more of a measure of last resort in this fight, because you can still find yourself in deep trouble, even if you do have it on, because he can... You know, strange things have happened to me in this fight where he like pulls me off the ledge and then that takes me out of bounds, and it's just bad. So now that we have both piles of debris gone, sprint all the way to the end, and over here you're safe. He can't hit you over here. So let's pick up this item. Got some New Moon Grass, which is very heavy. So it's a full heal, but it's very heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to storage. And so kind of the gimmick with this fight is there are these giant harpoons that you have to fight at the Dragon God. So there's one on each side. So this is the first one. It triggers a cutscene. You'll see that harpoon is now like stuck in his arm right there. You see that giant harpoon in his arm, and it took away some of his health. So now we got to do the same thing on the other side. So we got to swing down here, pick up this item, Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. And now it's the same thing on this lower level. You want to maintain your stealth as best as you can. And you do that by hiding behind these pillars. And there are more piles of debris down here. And these are even harder to hit while staying in stealth than the ones on top were. And this on the bottom level, instead of hitting you with his fist, he blows fire at you, and the fire is more deadly than his fists are. So again, it's kind of the same tactic. You want to wait till he turns his head. You want to make sure his eyes stay nice and yellow. And when he turns his head, I'm going to run to this next little hiding spot here. And then see this other pile of debris. So there's more piles of debris on this level than there were on the upper level. So, and after this fight's over, I'm probably gonna be running pretty low on spice, so I might have to restock. Let's see. So that takes care of that pile of debris. And you see, there's another one, yet another one further ahead. So you just want to make sure you're careful. You don't want to be reckless with this, because if he sees you on the bottom level, he's going to blow fire at you, and again, it'll be a one shot. And sometimes, if you're really unlucky, he can trigger your second chance and then drain your second chance health. So again, you just want to be really careful with it. So I'm going to hide behind this pillar here and kind of rinse and repeat. Yeah. Take down this this pile of debris here with my magic. And I'm going to need to bump up my magic. And again, you can take these things out with melee weapons, but it is a lot riskier. Now, this middle pillar I have trouble with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna kind of YOLO it from here. And I might get hit with the fire because there are actually 2 piles of debris left. Well, I say that I'm gonna try to maintain stealth here. For whatever reason, I have trouble with that pillar maintaining stealth, because oftentimes he still will see me even when I'm standing behind here. Let's see if I can pull it off. Looks like I'm safe, at least for now. Did he see me? No. Just kind of made a loud noise. That's okay. Am I still good? Okay. Yeah, I think, okay. So this is gonna be the way to go. I'm still safe. It's just a bit further away. The pile's a bit further away, so you do kind of have to be careful with your aim so you don't waste your magic. And I am just slightly off from hitting it. I do have 1 more spice left. Why is my magic not aiming properly? And I am still safe. Okay. Come on. There we go. That hit it. So I'm going to take this pile out. And there is 1 more, but especially since we have second chance equipped, we will be able to get this last pile without too much problems. So what I'm going to do is this pile is probably only going to take 1 hit with my weapon, which I'm going to 2-hand. I'm going to wait for him to look the other way, and then I'm going to finish off this pile and then run and get that last pile on this stairway that's right in front of us. And he might blow fire at us and we might take the hit, but with our second chance, we'll be fine. Because I did run out of my spice. I think I have some of the other spices left. Okay, I'm going to go now. I do have some of the other spices left that aren't as powerful as the old spice. So this is the last pile of debris, and I'm probably going to... Oh, I got through. Nice. So if I run quickly, you'll see he saw me, so he blew his fire down there. But much like on the other side, when you're up on this platform, you're safe. He can't hit you. There is another crystal lizard up here that we're going to take care of. And we got some clear stone chunks. And so this is the other harpoon that you have to hit him with. So you have to hit him with both harpoons. You see another cutscene. And so now he is incapacitated. So we've hit him with both harpoons, and he is helpless at that point. He can't really attack you anymore. So this is where the trophy comes into play. If you want to get the special trophy for fighting the dragon god, at this point is where you would need to equip the hands of God. You will need to equip both of them. And then at this point, the remaining amount of damage that you deal will have to be done with the hands of God. I'm not going to do it that way because I don't even have the hands of God with me. But that's how you would get the trophy. And again, with the other ones, I have a special video dedicated to that, so I will link it above. That breath that he's kind of that you see right there, that actually will hurt you. So the safest way to get it from here is just to hit him afar with arrows. You can hit him up close with a regular melee weapon, or in the case of getting the trophy, with the hands of God, which is an extremely close range weapon. But the safest way to get it from here is just to shoot him from afar, and that is the Dragon God. So as I said, quite a gimmicky boss, but as long as you know the approach, not really all that difficult. So we took care of it. Our body is restored. You want to make sure that you don't fall off the edge, because you will die in body form and you will lose your pure white world tendencies. So just make sure you don't fall off. So we got a pure dragon stone, and we got the Dragon God's boss soul, which we're actually going to cash in for a spell a little bit later. So there's a couple items up here that we want to get before we proceed. So I mentioned Sage Freight can convert boss souls into spells rather, and he can convert the Dragon God's soul into a spell. However, there's another person that we're going to get just a little bit later who can also convert boss souls into spells, and she has a spell that I want from the Dragon God's soul. So we're going to actually wait for her to cash it in because she gives us a different spell. We just got the Master's Ring there. Make sure that you get that, especially if you're going for the All Rings trophy. The Master's Ring gives you increased damage from like critical hits. So, as I mentioned in the previous episode, there are actually 3 uses that you need from the Dragon God's soul if you're going to go for all trophies. As I mentioned, there are the 2 spells. There's one from Sage Frake, and there's another one from Uriah the Witch, who we've yet to come across. We're going to rescue her in just a little bit in the next episode, I think, or maybe 2 episodes from now. We just got a Legendary Warrior Soul, which you can cash those in for a lot of souls. So let's head back to the Nexus and level up, and also get ourselves back into body form, or back into soul form rather. And then, so I mentioned the Dragon God Soul. You can get one spell from Sage Frake, 1 spell from Uriah the Witch, and that's the one that we're going to get in this particular playthrough. And then you can get a miracle with that soul from Saint Urbane. So you need 3 of them in order to get all of the spells and miracles, which essentially means you're going to need to complete the game. On the base game, you're going to need to cycle through and beat the game again on New Game Plus, and then cycle through again on New Game Plus Plus and beat the Dragon God again. And there's actually 3 boss souls that you're going to need to do that for. There's 3 boss souls that have 3 uses. In other words, you get 2 spells, 1 from Sage Frake, 1 from Uriah the Witch, and then you get the miracle from Saint Urbane. So the Dragon God is one of those souls. And then there's 2 bosses that we've yet to fight that we're also going to need 3 copies of their soul from to get all of the spells and miracles, and thus get all the trophies for the platinum. So just a little PSA there for those of you who are going for the platinum trophy. So let's level up. For the spell that I want, it actually requires 3 slots, 3 magic memory slots. So I'm going to upgrade my intelligence until I get that 3rd slot, so we'll be able to equip it when I eventually get there. And that spell is called Firestorm. It is a very good spell. It is worth it. Trust me. So I'm going to go ahead and send these materials back to storage, and then I'm going to pop a couple soul items to see if I can get another level. You know, these unknown warrior souls, I can definitely take all of these. Oh, I sent them to storage. I didn't use them. I need to go get those out of storage. Now let's use all of these. So I'm going to head to Stockpile Thomas and get those souls out of storage. There we go. Retrieve all of these. And then I want to use them. There we go. All right, let's go back to the maiden and see if I can level up again. So yeah, I can. So I will leave it at that for now. I think 18 is when I get that 3rd slot. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go back into soul form as per our usual routine. And then we're going to go back and pay Scurver a visit. So once we pay him a visit, we show him the Dragon Bone Smasher. That's going to close out Pure White World Tendency for the second archstone. So go back and claim my souls. And then what we're going to do is, for the first time in this playthrough, we're going to take World 2 to pure black world tendency. And I'm going to show you what that's like. So each world has what's called an NPC Black Phantom. And so Skurver is the NPC of World 2. And so in Pure White, he shows up and he has a quest for us. And Pure Black, he shows up in the same spot as a Black Phantom. And so in order for us to do all that we need to do in this game, we need to kill all of the Black Phantoms. There's one in each world. And so Skurver is going to be the first one that we kill in this playthrough. And the reason why we need to kill those Black Phantoms is because killing Black Phantoms, killing the NPC, I should specify the NPC Black Phantoms, killing them, and I'm going to go ahead and throw on second chance just in case, you know, for safety. Killing the NPC Black Phantoms increases your character tendency towards Pure White. So far in this playthrough, we have not done anything for character tendency. That's about to change. We're going to start, once we start fighting these NPC Black Phantoms, we're going to start taking our character tendency towards Pure White. So I'm going to show you the other way down, the easier way down, is you just go down on this side. And I think this is the platform that we landed on anyway before. And so let's see. I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly here. Yes, it's very hard to see. So you drop down over here. And then you can come over here. And then drop down on this little plank here. Be very careful. So what we need to do now is we need to show Skurver the Dragon Bone Smasher. So it's going to say we don't have the strength to equip it. That's just fine, and it's going to make us slow roll. But so he is happy we're showing him this sword, and he should reward us.
Please take care of it.
So he gives us a pure gray stone. So if you want to max out a crushing weapon, that's how you're going to do it, is with that pure gray stone. So we have fulfilled the use of the Dragon Bone Smasher. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to storage. And this is kind of the quintessential strength weapon. And a lot of people like to use it as a you know, purely strength-based weapon. So what we're going to do is we're going to head all the way back down to the bottom, and we're going to use the Flame Lurker's Archstone to warp on out of here. Follow the same path we did before. And there's that crystal lizard we saw before. Just run on out of here, and then we'll be able to warp. So what we're going to do now is we have done all the Pure White World Tendency stuff in here. So you can see we are still in Pure White World Tendency. So that's about to change. What we're going to do is we're going to warp to 2-1. We're going to take this world from Pure White to Pure Black. And again, the reason why we're doing this is because that will trigger the Black Phantom version of the NPC to spawn. And again, the reason why we want to kill the Black Phantom versions of the NPCs in each of the 5 worlds is because that will bring our character tendency towards Pure White, which we need Pure White character tendency for a ring. So if you're not even going for all rings in this game, you don't even really need to worry about these Black Phantoms and your Pure White character tendency. The only reason why I'm taking my character tendency really to Pure White, well, I should say the main reason why I'm taking it to Pure White is because of the ring that you get for having Pure White character tendency. So I'm going to use a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes to revive into human form, and we are going to need to die, I believe it is 7 times to take this world Pure Black. So the reason why I warped right here is simply because there is an easy cliff to roll off of and die. So that is number 1. And I'm going to use another Stone of Ephemeral Eyes to revive into human form. And so that's what we're doing, is we're intentionally dying in human form to take our world tendency down. So I'll pick up my souls here. This is number 2. And just be mindful. You want to keep in mind that there are technically a finite number of these Stones of Ephemeral Eyes, so you don't want to waste them, especially if you're trying to get all of the pure black character or pure black world tendency stuff in one run. You want to make sure that you don't waste your Stones of Ephemeral Eyes. There technically is a way to farm them. It is very difficult, and I'll cover that at the spot that you can farm them. You can farm them in 5-2, technically, which we haven't been to yet. But just be careful to not use them flippantly, because there are, if you want to do this all in one playthrough, your best bet is to conserve your Stones of Ephemeral Eyes for when you're turning your world pure black. So I've lost track. I think that was either number 3 or number 4. But there is a way that we're going to be able to check to see if our world's in pure black. I'm going to do it one more time before I check. My soul's back. And I'm going to, so again, the way that, if we were to check right now, so you look at this, if we were to check right now, it still shows us in pure white, because the way that you effectuate your, the changes based on the actions that you've taken is to reload an area or to warp anywhere. If you use an Archstone to either reload the area or warp, your world tendency effects are going to take place. And so now we're a shade below neutral, so that means we're going to have to die 2 more times in human form to get to pure black. Did I get my souls back? There we go. So 2 more deaths should do it. All right, this will be the last one, I believe. But again, after this death, we're going to check and see if we have pure black. And the way you can tell if you're in pure black is the icon and the world tendency screen is going to be black, and it's going to have these like red little, shiny things that kind of sparkle, and that's your indicator that you're in pure black. If you see those red sparkly things on the dark icon, that's your indication that you're in pure black. So we're going to reload the area. We're going to check one more time and see if we fit pure black. Yes, we have. So you see the smithing grounds icon there. You see those little red sparklies. That means we're in pure black. And again, you can check on this screen. You see the red sparklies. We're in pure black. So I'm going to go up and get my souls back. So now it's time for us to take on Scurver. So we're actually going to warp back to 2-2. And we're going to make our kind of trek down to his little perch. Definitely want second chance on. Now, I will say this is a tough fight. The NPC Black Phantoms and pure Black World Tendency are no joke. And I've covered this earlier as well. Also in pure Black Tendency, the enemies deal more damage. The enemies have more HP. The enemies give you more souls when you kill them in pure Black. Everything is harder in pure Black World Tendency. The difficulty is ratcheted up fairly substantially. In pure Black World Tendency. Also, enemies are going to have more of a tendency to drop upgrade shards as opposed to grass in pure Black World Tendency. So the opposite is true in pure White World Tendency. In pure White, the enemies are easier, you get fewer souls, and they are more apt to drop grass rather than upgrade stones. So keep all of that in mind. And actually, you can roll off right here. You're going to take a little bit more damage, but it is a bit quicker than taking the other way around. So there is our there is our Black Phantom Scurver, and we need to kill him to get what we need. And when we kill him, our character tendency is going to take 1 step towards pure white. So thing about him is I have the Thief's Ring on, so he's not noticing me. You probably might want to do the same. Make sure you have the Thief's Ring on yourself. The first thing is you're going to want to charge in and get a hit right away, because once he sees you, he's going to try to cast a HP regen spell. So the way that I fight him is he uses a lot of magic. The thing is that he has a finite amount of MP. This fight is extremely difficult if you're managing both his magic and his melee attacks. So how I approach this fight is I drain his magic all the way down. And a couple things about character tendency. There are a couple little nuances about how you have to approach these fights. You have to be careful because the only way that you get your bonus to character tendency for killing an NPC Black Phantom is if you deliver the killing blow with your weapon. So what I mean by that is, if he hit me there, so I might need to actually run back here and get a heal real quick. So what I mean by that is if he falls to his death, you can push him over the edge. If he falls to his death, you do not get the boost to your character tendency. Your character tendency will stay exactly the same. And just a word of caution, we are using a Crescent Falchion, which causes bleed damage. So he is susceptible to bleed. If we cause him to bleed and he dies of the bleed damage, not from a kill shot from our weapon, you will not get the boost to your character tendency. Your character's tendency will remain exactly the same. So the only way to get the boost to your character tendency is to deliver the killing blow with your weapon. So if you want to be more conservative, you can choose to use a weapon. So he just ran out his magic. You can choose to use a weapon that does not have a status effect attached to it. So the same thing goes for poison. Same thing goes for anything else. You do not want him to die of a status effect. You do not want him to die from falling off the ledge because you will not get the boost to your character tendency. And see, he has bleed now. And you will not reap the reward to your character tendency. So I just want to point that out. I want you to be aware of that. You just have to be careful of that because the goal here is to get to pure white character tendency. And there are 5 NPC Black Phantoms in this game. You need to kill all 5 of them to get to pure white character tendency. And again, your reward for getting a pure white character tendency in this game is a ring. Oh, he broke my guard there. I'm going to heal up. Hopefully he gives me a shot to do it. Yes, he was being nice. Thank you. So again, you want to fight him away from the ledge. And again, he is very powerful. You see how hard he hits. So you don't want to take him lightly. But you can kind of, if you get in a combo with your Falchion, you can kind of stun lock him and get several shots in a row. And again, see, he is bleeding. You want to make sure that he does not die of that bleed damage, and you want to make sure that he doesn't fall off the ledge like he almost did just there. So the safest way is really to fight him in this tunnel. And you see, he's got a pretty short weapon, so when you block him with your shield, it kind of stuns him, and that's your opportunity to go in and get hits in. So you see how I'm kind of working that out. Again, so make sure he does not die of the bleed damage. Make sure that he does not fall off the ledge. If you mess up a Black Phantom, there are alternative ways to get your character tendency up. They all involve playing online. One of those being come on, don't die of the bleed. There we go, got him. So, they all involve playing online. And so he's dead. And we got the Talisman of Beasts. So let's check out our screen here. It's hard to tell, but we did get our boost to our character tendency. And you know, it is very slight. The difference is very slight, but we did get the boost. And so again, you have to kill all 5 of them to realize the result, and you just have to be careful. So the other thing that happens in pure Black World tendency is there is what's known as a primeval demon. So the primeval demon in each world spawns it actually spawns at 1 tick. And I'm just trying to make sure that I drop down here correctly. It actually spawns at 1 tick above pure Black character tendency, or pure Black world tendency. I'm sorry. And the Primeval Demon is basically this big blob. They're actually really easy to kill. They are not a threat at all. But they drop these items called colorless demon souls. So this is a 100% walkthrough. So I'm going to show you in each world and pure black world tendency where to find the NPC Black Phantom and also where to find the Primeval Demon in each world. So the caveat is, and we have a long journey ahead of us, so I'm going to explain this on that journey. The caveat is we just killed an NPC Black Phantom. An NPC Black Phantom, if we were to reload the level or if we were to warp, will actually take our world tendency back to neutral, because killing an NPC Black Phantom actually gives your world a strong boost back towards pure white. So that is one thing to be very careful of. Because if you were to warp and say, hey, I just want to, because the thing is the Primeval Demons are usually on the opposite side of the level as the NPC Black Phantom. And so if we were to warp, then it's going to it's going to incorporate the fact that we killed an NPC Black Phantom. It's going to take our world tendency back to neutral, and the Primeval Demon's not going to be there. So the thing is so you have to make the journey. What I'm trying to say is you have to make the journey on foot. So between the NPC Black Phantom and the Primeval Demon, you have to walk all the way there on foot because you cannot warp. If you warp in any way, shape, or form, you are going, let's see, that is the wrong direction. You are going to change your world tendency. So it doesn't matter which one you do first. You can do the Primeval Demon first or the NPC Black Phantom first, but either way, whichever one you do first, you're gonna have to make the journey between the two on foot, because killing the Primeval Demon also will boost your world tendency out of pure black. The boost is not quite as potent as killing the NPC Black Phantom, so killing both of them, the NPC Black Phantom and the Primeval Demon, does not get your world from pure black to pure white. It gets your world from pure black to one shade below pure white. So again, you have to kill them both without warping. Because if you kill the Primeval Demon and then try to warp to the Black Phantom, your world tendency is not going to be pure black anymore, so you won't be able to do it. If you kill the Black Phantom first and then try to warp to the Primeval Demon, then your world's not going to be pure black anymore because you warped and you killed the Black Phantom, and that's going to make your world tendency not pure black anymore. So another thing about pure black is, you see there's a Black Phantom enemy of there's a Black Phantom version of just a regular enemy there. So that is another thing about pure black, is you're going to see Black Phantom versions of just regular old enemies that pop up, and they are a much stronger version of just the regular enemy, and you're going to get they give you more souls as a result, but they are tougher, and so just be aware of that. There's another Black Phantom small bear bug, and you see they've got quite a bit more HP. There we go. All right, got to take care of these things. Use my bow to do it. So it's a bit convoluted. The system is not intuitive, but that's how it works. So this is the stuff that you do in black and pure black world tendency. Each world has its NPC Black Phantom. Each world has a Primeval Demon, and you have to take them on both at the same time without warping. You have to traverse the level on foot to get to both of them. And again, you could say, well, let me kill the NPC Phantom and then use my Stones of Ephemeral Eyes to get back. I'll warp and then use my Stones of Ephemeral Eyes to get back. Remember, I said there's a limited amount of Stones of Ephemeral Eyes. So you're not going to have enough Stones of Ephemeral Eyes to do that for each world. So again, the way to do it is on foot. So here's Patches. He actually came up here after we fetched that item down there, the club, and then we came across the bear bug. You can actually come up here and talk to him, and he gives you this flame resistance ring. And that's all else that he'll do. We already have a flame resistance ring, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the one that he gave us into storage. So that's actually a copy of a ring that we already have. And there's actually another item up here that we did not get before. There's a sharp stone chunk as well. So I just wanted to point that out because you can get that stuff from patches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head to that tunnel over there, and that's going to be our cut through to get back to the other area of the level. So I'm going to top off health real quick. Remember, walk through here, shield up. There's a pickaxe guy that's going to attack us. So if you have any questions about world tendency or character tendency, I know that I've explained a lot in this episode alone about world tendency and character tendency. If you have any questions, please just ask me. I'm happy to try to explain things the best I can. If you have a comment, I'm going to try to blow this thing up and run away and not take damage from it. There we go. Because we need to travel around this corner to get where we're going. Just ask me, and I've answered a lot of questions about world tendency and character tendency because, as I said, it is not an intuitive system. It is kind of buried deep in the background of this game, but yet it is important to know how to work it if you're going to get the Platinum Trophy. So that is my spiel. So again, in summary, all 5 Black Phantoms to get to pure white character tendency. You need the pure white character tendency for a ring. The Primeval Demons drop colorless demon souls. So it is not a 100% drop, but it is they're more likely than not to drop it. I'll put it that way. And these things, I'm just trying to be careful because I don't want to take the damage from these explosions. I'm just going to run like that. And those can actually kill those pickaxe guys. So that actually helped me a little bit. So now we're back where we fought the armored spider. So the colorless demon souls, you need 3 of them for a spell. And then also they serve a different purpose. The colorless demon souls. Actually, I'm going to touch this archstone because if I die, I should theoretically warp back to this archstone if I touch it. I'm not going to reload the area. I'm just going to touch the archstone. So I'm going to hit X to touch it and then press circle to get away from it. I'm not reloading the area because if I did, that would incorporate the changes to world tendency, which I do not want. So another thing about the colorless demon souls is there are certain weapons in this game that can only be upgraded with colorless demon souls. So the Dragonbone Smasher that we picked up, that is a weapon that can be upgraded only by using colorless demon souls. The Adjudicator Shield, that's a shield that we got earlier. That can only be upgraded using colorless demon souls. So there are several weapons that can only be upgraded using colorless demon souls. And here's a Black Phantom pickaxe guy. I'm just gonna run by him. So there are some weapons that can only be upgraded using colorless demon souls. And again, if you're going for the all magic trophy, you're going to need 3 colorless demon souls for a spell. Now there are 5 primeval demons, and as I said, the primeval demons are more likely than not. Oh geez, this could be horrible. I kind of escaped. I escaped catastrophe there. So as I mentioned, there's 5 primeval demons. There's 1 for each world. They have a more likely than not chance to drop a colorless demon soul, but it is not a guaranteed drop. There are a couple other colorless demon souls that we can get in this run. So we're going to run straight on through here and take the elevator down to the beginning of the level. And so you have plenty of opportunities to get them in the playthrough. You need 3 for the spell to get the all magic trophy, as I said, but that is not a problem. Be careful with these elevators because if you do it wrong, you can easily fall to your death, and we don't want that with as far as we've come on foot. So I'm actually going to roll off here and then take the elevator up. And then the primeval demon in this level is down there. You see that big blob with the tail? That's the primeval demon. So we actually need to head over to the other elevator and take that down. And that will get us to the primeval demon. And that will get us, hopefully, our first colorless demon soul in this So again, these primeval demons are not necessarily required for a trophy per se, but since this is a 100% walkthrough, I want to make sure that I show you guys everything there is to know in the pure black versions of each level. So ride this thing all the way down, and there's a primeval demon. They die in like 1 or 2 hits. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw on my Providential Ring just to increase the likelihood of the drop. And hopefully they'll be on their best behavior here with the drop. So these things, they can technically hurt you, I believe, but as long as you just avoid their mouth, go over to the side. 1 hit. Yeah, 1 hit did it. And he did drop the Colorless Demon Soul, so we got the Colorless Demon Soul. Sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Thief Ring back on. And then all we're going to do now is head back to the Nexus. So that's it for the pure black version of the level. We killed Scurver, and we killed Scurver. When we killed the Primeval Demon, we got our Colorless Demon Soul. So that's the pure black version of the level, the pure black world tendency of the level. And so also in killing Scurver, we did... in killing Scurver, we did increase our character tendency by just a tick towards pure white. So we are on the journey towards pure white character tendency. So let's warp back to the Nexus. And just to point out, I just want to show you how this works. So we're in pure black in World 2. Now watch, once we warp back to the Nexus, what happens to our world tendency. It will take us, since we killed both the Primeval Demon and the black NPC Black Phantom in this world, we are now going to be at just a shade below pure white. So you see it is pretty white, but it's not like the shimmering white that we have in the first Archstone. So that is kind of the all you would ever want to know and more about world tendency and character tendency. So we killed some stuff. We got some souls. Let's see if we can level up. We can. And I can take my intelligence now to 18, which gives me my 3rd magic memory slot, which is exactly what I want. So we're done leveling up intelligence in this playthrough. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. So hopefully all of that made sense. And again, if you have questions during your playthrough, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about world tendency or character tendency. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate y'all's support. Please, if you haven't already, join the squad by subscribing to the channel. Leave a like and a comment in this video. And let me know how you think things are going. If you want to see more or less of certain things, if you want more or less commentary, whatever the case may be, let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. So take care. Have a good one. I'll see you then.